is just fantastic. Captain's Log, Subdate 21027.1. We've started installing a second row of Lego blocks into the ISO cubes, which are in the brig, and have replicated additional chains, shackles, and anal stretchers for those with a taste for younger blood. Welcome everyone to the Halls of Injustice. Today we have perp number 047, Vytautas Kiminius. I have actually checked the pronunciation, it is a Lithuanian name. Yay for me. For this story I'm about to tell, we need to insert Rachel Radow, a Ford Fiesta and a Range Rover. On November the 12th, 2018, Rachel Radow, a veterinary nurse, was driving on the B1095 in Peterborough. This is the road in question, this is Peterborough. This was taking place at 2 a.m. While driving, someone in the opposite direction was on the wrong side of the road because they were, and I'll air quote this because it came up during the trial, taking the racing line on a semi-blind corner at night. While I'm almost certain the Range Rover taking the racing line looked absolutely fabulous, there was a minor problem. The minor problem was that in the opposite direction on the very side of road the Range Rover was on was Rachel Radow in a Ford Fiesta. The size difference, for those who don't know, is considerable. Now, as cars don't possess instant brakes, in the sense that they could stop without ever hitting somebody without also damaging the driver of the car, nor any form of safety stop that would include perhaps some form of time travel, these two cars collided. Here are some of the pictures taken of the crash. If it isn't obvious enough, the roof had to be cut off the Fiesta. Unfortunately for the driver of the Ford Fiesta, that being Rachel Radow, she passed away because of the injury sustained in this crash. Vytautas Kiminius survived, and upon being questioned by the police, they were successful in obtaining some very vital key information. The first being, yes, he was in fact on the wrong side of the road, he admitted that. Of course, the tyre marks in the road would have undoubtedly given him away anyway. The second, and this one's a little important, Vytautas did not have insurance. Two separate charges here. The first is driving whilst uninsured, the other causing death via dangerous driving. Understandably, because he admitted guilt, this went to trial, where on the very first day of the trial, in February of 2020, yes, there was a year gap, Vytautas admitted to driving while uninsured. But when it came to causing death via dangerous driving, he had a reason for being on the other side of the road. That reason was he had swerved to avoid an animal. Now, in this particular area of the world, on that particular region, that argument could in fact stack up. However, most people driving Range Rovers don't make it a point to move out of the way of a fox. I know this because even where I live, we see enough foxes, hedgehogs, seagulls, pigeons, badgers. Do I need to continue reeling off animals from the kingdom of animals to make the point that drivers generally don't care much if they strike an animal and don't often go out of their way to move out of the way to avoid hitting a random animal? And I say random because he never specified the animal. Of course, it's not like they can go and get a statement even if it were true, but as we all know, it was not true. Because of the early admission of guilt and the lack thereof for the second charge, he was found guilty. This video seems very short, doesn't it? But there's more to this. A lot more. After being found guilty, he was granted bail before sentencing. And this is the part where it gets interesting. Vytautas Kiminius was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months for the charge of death via dangerous driving, and 9 months for driving whilst uninsured. These sentences are to be served concurrently, which, as many of you know, I take great issue with concurrent sentences. My view is, you've been done on 2 charges, found guilty on them in fact. You then serve back-to-back both sentences. I also think the sentences are a tad weak. The insurance one falls within the bracket. Death via dangerous driving to me, nah, it's life, man. Sorry, it's over. Don't care. Get in the cubes. But as you can see here, the cube is empty. This is the part where we go, so where is Vytautas? You said he got sentenced. And he did. He was sentenced. But he wasn't there. You see, shortly after being found guilty, Vytautas Kiminius went home. He packed up his bags and all his belongings, along with his wife and 2 children, and left the United Kingdom. Maybe. It's unsure where they are. Possibly in Lithuania, you never know. Because he's absconded, my view is, the moment you're found, and you will be found, Vytautas, those 2 charges along with an additional charge, yeah, your sentence is getting longer, and I'm okay with this, because I've written down here the sentence I want you to have is 5 years and 3 months for the 2 other charges, along with life, cause fuck you, plus 10 years for fleeing. So if you can survive all of that, you can be free. Speaking at the Peterborough Crown Court, Sergeant Mark Dolat said it is believed Vytautas left the country soon after his conviction. He was bailed to reappear for sentencing, with conditions including a surety, surrender of travel documents and electronic tagging. Police were made aware of breaches to his tagging and identified at an early stage he and his family fled the family home and are believed to have left the country. Kiminius then subsequently failed to attend his sentencing hearing. Efforts are ongoing to locate him, and a European arrest warrant has been issued. The fact he left the country before he could be sentenced has been incredibly upsetting for the Radwell family. We are still engaging with the family through specially trained officers, and they have asked for their privacy to be respected. It is extremely frustrating Kiminius has absconded, and I urge anyone who has information concerning his whereabouts to contact Cambridgeshire Constabulary, quoting Op. Berkeley. This, by the way, this entire case came to light after BBC made an official request to have the reporting restriction lifted because he absconded. Currently, the United Kingdom are working with European authorities to find Vytautas. Now, there is a large space to cover. It is unlikely he'll be found soon, but a lot of people like Vytautas are creatures of habit. Criminals mostly are anyway, so he will more than likely go somewhere familiar to him. It is my sincerest hope that Vytautas Kiminius is found so that justice can in fact be served. You will do your sentence plus anything additional applied to you because it is nothing more than you deserve, Vytautas Kiminius, or Perp 047. When we find you, I'm sticking you in a cube and you're not leaving until I can be bothered to remove you. As we are done here, I'd like to know what you think about this particular case, so please do let me know in the comments down below. I hope you'll have a fantastic day, and thank you all for listening.